Hey guys, it's NCC Bryce Gallo, and today I'm going to be continuing the long-awaited Man vs. Machine battle. Today I'll be taking on the computer level 5, which is rated about 850 on chess.com. So I'm going to play a couple like blitz 10-minute rapidish games against the bots, and we'll see how I do. So let's get started. Alright, starting off, we don't really need any of that stuff, but that's fine. They call this a beginner bot. Alright, so we have e4. Typically against e4 I like to go with the Caro Kann, at least lately. So play this. We have the advanced variation. Bishop f5. Looks good. Okay, e6. So far everything looks fine to me. Got a couple ways to get out these pieces. I think I'll go with knight e7. The idea of developing here. Rook to f1. It's a bit of an odd move. I think that's just what these lower rated computers do, is they just at random moments they'll play random moves. So I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, the computers at the lower levels, it's like you're playing against a really good computer. They'll play a bunch of good moves and all of a sudden they'll just play the most random move that doesn't make any sense. And apparently that's how they get to their rating. So we have knight g5. I'll just push it back with my pawn. They're going to sacrifice. Alright, I'll take that free piece. Thank you. Okay, bishop to e3. What I can do here, I think, is just take after recaptures. I might not actually have anything here. I can develop my knight, but I'm up material, so I'll just trade down. They do take that way. Can I go for this quite yet? No. Let's play knight to d7 with the idea of pushing this. Okay, queen c7. There's another one of those very odd moves. Let's just go with this. c5, trying to attack their center here. Looks like they're going to let me, so I'll take that. Just realized this is hanging as well. Now they saw it. Okay, so queen a2. Oh man, things are falling apart for this computer here. So we have pawn takes, we have queen takes, the pawn here, check. I kind of like that, I get an extra piece. So check. Oh, you can block. If you block, I think they're doing alright, unless I'm missing anything else. I'll just take that. They're not going to recapture. Defend their pawn. So I have two options. I can take here with check. I can take here. But if I take with check, then the rook captures. My bishop is pinned to my king. That's not so great. This pawn is hanging in a number of different ways, to be honest. Wow. There's so much free material, I don't know what to take first. I kind of like this, but then they take with check. It's not very great. Maybe I just get out of the pin here with this. It's very slow, but I think it's better for king safety. Can I? No, I can't take. I thought this was en passant, but my pawn would have to be here to take. Okay, they're gonna push, which means my king is completely safe now, so I think I can just take this. Let's see what else I would do. So now I'm attacking their rook. They move their rook. That's good at least. What else can I do to just make this situation so much worse for this computer? I guess I could push the pawn. I guess that does make a lot of sense. So I'll go with that. Very well, I'll take that. Does this work? Ooh, I don't know. Let's try it. I think that's fine. Just knight to c5. I almost have a really cool tactic here with the knight supporting my bishop. I can check his king, take the rook afterwards, but he is guarding that at the moment. I guess I can slide over here. I'll attack his bishop, which he does defend. Can I play this? I think it works, right? He can't take with the queen. If he takes with the queen, I just take there. It's good for me. He could take with the rook, though. That is not quite as good. I guess I'll just take the pawn. I'm looking for anything that I might be missing, but I think I can just take the pawn. I'm going to attack my bishop. I could go for a bishop trade. This might actually work out if I go here then. I'm going to go for it. And that entirely hangs the rook. There's nothing guarding it. King e1, which probably was the best move, would have been way better because at least you get something for your rook. But this is just a completely free rook. And this is under attack as well. Gotta watch out for that. This pawn not quite hanging. The queen still guards it. I am in a very good position here, but how to just win this? Maybe this is a start. You could just push the pawn, I guess. But I do like this move. Now they propose a queen trade. So takes, check, king goes here, the bishop's under attack. I guess that's good for me. I'll take it. Alright, king g8. Still attacking their piece here. Whoa, what was that? They sacrifice a rook for a pawn. I most certainly will take that. Thank you very much. Okay, they're going to take my bishop, but does that even matter? I've got so many pawns I can promote. Let's take here. Check. Right. I guess now I can just take the bishop. So I've equalized in that sense. Let's take another pawn with a check. I think this king is just getting checkmated here. I should have covered g3 somehow. I don't know how I would have done that. It's got to be something, right? He can still go there. Can I push the pawn? I don't want to stalemate. I just realized he's got very few squares to go to. He can only go there. If I push the pawn, he can still go there. Okay. Now if I promote, is that stalemate? Maybe he can just push his pawn. But this is pretty much just checkmate. I have to figure out exactly how to do it. I think promoting is fine. If I promote, he pushes the pawn. And then checkmate. Alright. Well, first game against the beginner 850 rated bot. Didn't go so well. The opening was decent, I guess. They didn't play anything that was that strange. They did move a rook like over here, which was a bit strange. We can take a look at that real quick. As soon as that loads up. So I think the only really weird opening move, the one that I remember at least, was just rook to f1 instead of castling. Castling would have made so much more sense. They did not do that. We played like this. They sacrificed a knight. Then, after some pressuring on this side, they ended up hanging a bishop. Hung their bishop. And pretty soon after that, just one by one, all of their pieces begin to fall. And that was the game. Made a couple errors over here. Queen trade. And then sacrificed a rook for a pawn. Why? I don't know. And then we got the bishop and we got a pawn. And shortly after that, we had checkmate. So the 850 bot really wasn't that difficult. They just hung a lot of pieces, and that made the win very, very easy. So I think I will go ahead and give this bot a second chance. This time we'll play with the white pieces, and I'll go with d4 as my opening move. Alright, we'll play into the Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit declined. Knight f3. Looks fine to me. Here I have bishop to g5 to pin down the knight, or I have just knight to c3. I don't really know if one's better than another, so I'll just go with bishop g5. Okay. Play this. If they take my knight, I'll just take with the pawn. They're not going to. Okay, I could play queen to c2. I could play queen to b3. b3 would attack the bishop. c2, it's just on a nice square, especially if he does decide to castle. Maybe that'll be helpful. I can play like e3, then bishop d3. I have a little bit of a battery going on there. What to play? I don't really think it matters that much. If I go here, I don't get much, so queen c2. Well, there's another one of those strange moves. It's like this computer doesn't like to castle or something. First time they moved a rook so they can't castle, now they're moving their king so they absolutely can't castle. Well, let me see if I can find a way to punish that. Well, that is... It's got to be a mistake. They just hang their piece. Okay, and they're not even going to take anything back. Wow, so they're just going to give me another pawn? Take it. Could always castle. Probably will do that right now, actually. After I castle, then I can trade off these pieces, probably get something going in the center, and I think I'm just completely winning. So here I win another pawn after takes. When the pawn recaptures, I can just take back the queen. Or they could just not take back at all. That is perfectly terrible. Okay. I want to save my knight now. I was planning on playing knight to e5. With the idea after we trade, I can get my bishop here and their rook is lost. But I do have a hanging knight at the moment, so I will have to rescue that first. Where to put it? It's like so many weird squares here. I could go here, but then there's no moves. Here, and he just pushes the knight away. Where to put the knight? I'll put it back where it came from. Knight to c3. Okay, good move. They are stopping my idea of knight to e5. Probably not a very solid move. I'm sure the computer would find a whole bunch of holes in that plan, but that's what I was looking at. Here, how do I break this open? I'm thinking I just pawn storm this. Might just be the easiest way to bring this game to a conclusion. Okay, well, that hangs a pawn directly in front of their king. I will take that. King goes to here. I don't have any good checks. I can't take that. The knight is defending it. I can't take this. The rook is defending. I can't play bishop to d6. The bishop would come back and take my bishop. Very close. I think I'll just take the pawn here. He could always just take my knight first and then take back the pawn. He's still losing, but I guess that's better. The rook a7, a very slow move. My threats are quickly building up here. He's going to have to find a better way to take care of this problem. Ooh, wow, I thought he hung mate right there. His knight just barely guards that. But I don't think that's going to last. Just take the knight. Could have taken with a pawn, to be honest, but I don't think There's nothing here that's good for black. Nothing here is winning. So I'll take this. They're not hanging their rook. I could take the bishop now. Guess I have to. I'm looking for checkmate. And that is a wrap. So, 850 rated computer. It plays decent moves. It just randomly will play these very inaccurate and these very like strange moves like this. Like rook a7, sorry, not h7. Rook a7, though, it's just weird. It's slow. It doesn't help your king. There's nothing good about that at all. So let's take a look at this game real briefly. Alright, so we went with the Queen's Gambit. This was a 20-move game. It was a quick knockout. Alright, so Queen's Gambit, everything here, it's fine. Looking good. And this move, knight e4, just gave the game away. Hangs the queen for no good reason. And then they move their king. It's bizarre. Nothing's working. I take another pawn. And after that, it's just a matter of trading down material. Like here they didn't even take back their knight. They just lost a full piece. They didn't take it back. Here they hung a pawn. Queen takes g6. And then rook a7 is just too slow. They're not helping themselves. And knight takes. I could have taken with a pawn, but my idea was after knight takes, if the pawn took, then that's just checkmate right there. The pawn supports my queen, and that would be checkmate. But after I took the knight, they took my pawn, so there was no longer any checkmates. Here, check, check, and then checkmate. Well, I hope you found this video entertaining and helpful. If you are playing against the level 5 computer and you're trying to beat it, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know about that. I would really enjoy seeing the PGN. If you want to post the PGN in the comments, I'd be happy to take a look at a couple of your guys' games against the level 5 computer. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more weekly content. I do chess lessons right now. I've got bot versus bot battles. I've got my Man vs Machine series that I'm currently working on. Climbing the rating ladder series, I just uploaded a recent video for the 400 to 500 rating range. If you want to see that, click the link in the description. I'll have the video linked there. And other than that, I've got nothing else for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.